Every night, a girl was killed, until one woman chose to fight back with stories. Use stories to survive and save others. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell. A new tale unfolds every night.
These stories are not just entertaining. They delve into human psychology, morality, and the complexities of the soul. In this video, I will explore 1001 Nights. If your culture has similar ancient tales, share them in the comments to create a path for further research. The story of 1001 Nights. After being betrayed by his wife, King Shahryar distrusts all women. Each night, he marries a young maiden, only to execute her the next day to prevent betrayal. This cycle fills the kingdom with fear and turns his people against him. Amid the turmoil, Scheherazade, the Grand Vizier's daughter, offers herself as his bride, hoping to end the tragic fate of these women. She aims to heal the king's wounded soul through her storytelling, using storytelling therapy to mend his broken spirit. Scheherazade uses the power of storytelling to heal Shahryar. With careful precision, she crafts tales that not only captivate the king, but also gently reshape his view of the world. First, Scheherazade's stories matched Shahriyar's belief that all women were unfaithful, which pleased him. But as the tales unfolded, his perspective shifted. He began to see that many of these women were not betrayers, but victims of misunderstanding. Over time, as Shahriyar hears tales of men betraying women, he begins to question his own beliefs. This realization leads him to end his cycle of violence and spare the lives of future brides. In the end, Scheherazade's stories heal the king, saving not only the lives of countless women, but also her own. Her tales become the cure for Shahriyar's wounded soul. In the 18th and 19th centuries, 1001 Nights inspired European writers and deeply influenced both Arabic and Western literature. The tale of 1001 Nights begins in the Sasanian Empire, where a wise king rules vast lands and has two sons, Shahriyar and Shah Zaman. Both princes inherited their father's wisdom and strength. After the king's passing, the elder son, Shahriyar, took the throne, while his younger brother, Shah Zaman, accepted his role without resentment. Admiring his brother's loyalty, Shahriyar granted him rule over the land of Tatar. Shah Zaman took control of Tatar and established his rule in the grand city of Samarkand. 10 years passed since the beginning of his reign. Shahriyar missed his brother, so he sent his Grand Vizier with gifts to invite him. Delighted, Shah Zaman accepted and prepared for the journey. Shah Zaman was ready to depart, but suddenly remembered he had left a gift for Shahriyar in his palace. Upon reaching the palace, Shah Zaman felt the urge to see his wife one last time before returning. He approached his wife's bedroom unknowingly, but upon opening the door, his legs weakened at the shocking sight of the queen peacefully asleep in the arms of a dark-skinned servant. His lips dried, and a trembling whisper escaped his lips.
"This can't be happening. He had everything. How? Why? How could they dare such a betrayal right under my nose?"
He quietly killed both of them and left the palace without anyone noticing, keeping the incident to himself. The next morning, he ordered the march, and his companions announced the Sultan's departure with drums and horns. Everyone was joyful, but Shah Zaman was heartbroken over the betrayal. As Shah Zaman approached the capital, Shahriyar welcomed him with honor and organized a grand feast to cheer him up. However, despite the celebration, Shah Zaman remained silent and sorrowful. Shahryar believed his brother's sadness was due to being away from his wife or worries about his kingdom. He offered valuable gifts and enhanced hospitality, but Shah Zaman remained. In an effort to cheer him up, Shahryar planned a 2-day hunting trip, but Shah Zaman declined, saying he was tired. Ultimately, Shahryar went hunting with the nobles, leaving his brother behind. After Shahryar left for the hunting grounds, Shah Zaman stared out the window at the garden, still burdened by his past sorrows. Suddenly, he noticed a hidden door opening, revealing the queen and a group of palace maidens. In that moment, he witnessed the queen's betrayal of his brother. Shah Zaman thought to himself,
So this fate is not mine alone. My brother, a great king, is just like me, and perhaps it is the nature of women to betray their husbands.
He found comfort in these thoughts and forgot his sorrow. When Shahryar returned from the hunt, he was surprised to find that his brother no longer seemed depressed and greeted him warmly. However, this sudden change piqued Shahryar's curiosity, and he insisted on knowing what had caused this transformation in his brother. Eventually, Shah Zaman revealed his hidden sorrow and shared his bitter tale with Shahryar. Shahryar responded, saying,
You did well to punish the traitor. If I were in your place, I would not only kill the unfaithful wife, but also many more women.
Shahryar, taken aback, pressed Shah Zaman to reveal the truth. Although fearful of upsetting his brother, Shah Zaman confessed his painful secret. In disbelief, Shahryar insisted he wouldn't believe it until he saw it for himself. The brothers then planned to secretly return to the palace under the pretense of a hunting trip to uncover the truth. As the two brothers quietly entered the palace, they made their way to the hall overlooking the garden. Shahryar was deeply affected upon witnessing the betrayal of his wife. With a pained cry, he lamented, "How could my wife betray me like this?" He came to the realization that even kings cannot consider themselves happy in the face of such pain. Shahryar urged his brother to abandon the throne and its formalities to travel to distant lands and live in anonymity, declaring that they were the most unfortunate men on earth. Shah Zaman agreed under one condition.
If we find someone more unfortunate than ourselves during our journey, we will return to our kingdom.
With this resolution, the two brothers left the palace and set off on their adventure. After days of riding across vast plains, mighty kings Shahryar and Shah Zaman arrived at a serene meadow by the sea. Exhausted from their journey, they found solace in the grandeur of ancient trees and the soothing sounds of the waves. As they rested in the shade, they remained oblivious to the fate that lay ahead. Suddenly, the meadow's tranquility is broken by a terrifying roar as a monstrous creature rises from the sea, towering over the trees with glowing eyes. Shahryar and Shah Zaman hid among the branches. The giant placed a locked glass chest on the ground, unlocked it, and a breathtaking woman stepped out. Her dark, silky hair cascaded over her shoulders, and her eyes held a hidden mystery. Bowing his head, the giant pleaded, "Since I stole you on your wedding night, I have loved you desperately. Let me rest by your side." As he slept on her lap, the woman spotted Shahryar and Shah Zaman in the trees. With a sly look, she summoned them, threatening to wake the giant if they refused. Reluctantly, Shah Zaman and Shahryar approached the woman, who was betraying the giant. With a sly smile, she pulled out a string of rings, each a token from past lovers. Mocking them, she said, "No lock or chain can stop a woman destined to betray." Shah Zaman and Shahryar, their hearts filled with astonishment and rage, reflected on the bitter truth before them. They realized that this giant was more unfortunate than they were, for despite being trapped in a box deep within the sea, the woman had still found a way to betray him. Seeing the giant's misfortune, the brothers returned to their kingdoms. But Shahryar had changed. Betrayal had poisoned his soul. With cold determination, he ordered the queen's execution. That night, love died within him, buried forever in the shadows of vengeance. Shahryar said, "From now on, I will marry a girl every night, and at dawn, I will have her killed. In this way, I will deny her the opportunity to betray me." The prime minister, with sorrow, bowed his head, but the king's command was one that had to be obeyed. Every night, a woman would become the king's bride, and at dawn, she would be killed by Shahryar's order. Meanwhile, Scheherazade, the prime minister's wise daughter, silently pondered the dark fate ahead. The news of King Shahryar's merciless actions quickly spread throughout the entire kingdom. Each night, a new girl from the town was taken. The people, who had once prayed for their king, now cursed his name. In the midst of all this, the Grand Vizier had two daughters named Scheherazade and Dunyazad. Both were unmatched in knowledge and beauty. Scheherazade had an extraordinary memory and was well versed in the knowledge of her time. One day, Scheherazade approached her father and revealed that she had devised a plan to save the daughters of their people. She requested that he offer her as a bride to King Shahryar. Believing that this would put an end to the senseless killings, terrified by his daughter's request, the Grand Vizier warned her that if she married Shahryar, she would meet the same fate as the other girls and be executed. In response, Scheherazade firmly stated that she had no fear of death. If death awaited her, then it would be a noble death. And if her plan succeeded, she would take pride in having performed the greatest service to her people. The Grand Vizier desperately tried to dissuade his daughter. He said,
"My child, if you go through with this, you will share the fate of the merchant, the ox, and the donkey."
Intrigued, Scheherazade asked, "What fate?" The Grand Vizier then recounted the tale of the merchant, the ox, and the donkey.
Long ago, there was a wealthy merchant with many farms and animals. He could understand the language of beasts, but if he told anyone, he would die. The merchant sat quietly near the stable, listening. The ox whispered to the donkey, "You're lucky. They feed you, clean you, and you barely work. But me, I plow all day, whipped, exhausted, and left with dry straw." The donkey let the ox finish, then said, "You fool. You obey without question and suffer for nothing. Use your strength. Kick, snort, fight back. Stop eating bad food. Show them you won't be mistreated." The ox nodded. "You're right, I'll change." Hidden nearby, the merchant heard every word. The next morning, the farmer brought the ox to plow. But the ox, remembering the donkey's advice, rebelled. It refused to be tied and acted wild. The next day, the farmer found it sick and informed the merchant, who then ordered the donkey to plow instead.
The minister turned to his daughter, Scheherazade, and said,
"My daughter, you're making a dangerous choice. Like the donkey, you're putting your life at risk. Listen to your father's advice and avoid this path."
Scheherazade replied, "Father, your story won't change my mind. I'll persist until you agree to present me as the king's wife." Seeing her determination, the minister warned,
"You're making a dangerous choice. Like the donkey, you're putting your life at risk. Listen to your father's advice and avoid this path." That night, the merchant sat by the stable to overhear the donkey and the ox. The donkey said, "Friend, if you keep pretending to be sick, the master will have you killed and feed your meat to the poor." Terrified, the ox vowed to act healthy the next day. The merchant, hearing this, burst into laughter. His wife asked, "Why are you laughing?" He replied, "I heard something, but if I tell you, I'll die." She shouted, "If you don't tell me, I'll leave you." The wife cried all night, demanding the secret. The merchant said, "It could cost my life." She insisted, "I must know." He replied, "Then I'll call our children to witness what follows." The merchant gathered everyone to reason with his wife. Everyone pleaded, but she wouldn't listen. The whole family wept in despair. This merchant had 50 hens, 1 rooster, and a dog. The dog saw the rooster busy with one of the hens. The dog said, "Aren't you ashamed? Our master, his life is in danger." The rooster replied, "If our master has 1 wife, I have 50 wives, and they all follow my commands." The dog asked, "How?" The rooster replied, "The master should lock his wife in a room and beat her until she understands that a secret that shouldn't be revealed should never be requested insistently." The merchant overheard the animal's conversation and, grabbed a stick, went to his wife, and locked the door. He beat her until she promised to stop asking.
After hearing the story, Scheherazade remained unmoved and responded, "Even if my choice leads to my death, I will still take pride in serving my people." The Grand Vizier sighed and said,
"If you insist on this path, I will have no choice but to do to you what the merchant did to his wife."
Scheherazade, unshaken, replied, "Even if death awaits me, I will embrace it with honor for the sake of my people." At last, the Grand Vizier gave in to his daughter's insistence. He approached King Shahryar and said,
"I wish to offer my daughter as your bride."
Shahryar, astonished by the proposal, asked,
How did you come to this decision? You know that by morning after the wedding, I will order her execution, and you will be the one to carry it out. Why would you give your own daughter to me?
He then sternly warned the vizier,
If you hesitate in carrying out my command, I swear I will have you killed as well.
O King Shahryar, there is no doubt that taking my daughter's life will fill my heart with unbearable grief. But what choice do I have when fate has already been written? As they say, there is no escaping destiny. Although I am her father and love her dearly, I must prove my loyalty by obeying your orders.
Shahryar accepted the Grand Vizier's offer and said,
Very well, you may bring your daughter to me whenever you wish.
And so, Scheherazade, the daughter of the Grand Vizier, stepped into a palace where every woman before her had lived only one night. But Scheherazade had not come to be just another victim. She had come with a purpose, to change the heart of an angry, broken king through the power of storytelling, and perhaps to save her own life and the lives of countless other women. But can stories truly save a life? This is where the legend of 1001 Nights begins. If you're curious how Scheherazade escaped death night after night with her stories, be sure to subscribe, hit the bell, and tell me in the comments if you enjoyed this tale.